Imagine waking up to find out that billions of pounds in taxpayer money could vanish overnight. And now the government has no choice but to scramble for solutions. Well, that's exactly the crisis Chancellor Rachel Reeves might be facing. Thanks to a massive car loan scandal that's set to shake Britain's economy to its core, a whopping £5.5 billion in tax revenue could disappear, all because of missold car loans. And with economic growth already struggling, Reeves is left with some brutal choices. Tax hikes, spending cuts, or watching the UK's finances spiral even further out of control. But how did we get here? And why is this scandal being called the next PPI disaster? This all started with a court case that's now threatening to rewrite the rules of Britain's financial system. Here's what happened. For years, lenders secretly paid commissions to car dealers, without the customers ever knowing. These hidden charges meant millions of people ended up overpaying for their car loans. Sound familiar? It's just like the infamous PPI scandal, which cost banks a staggering £50 billion in compensation. Now, history might be repeating itself. If the courts rule against the car finance industry, the compensation payouts could reach £33 billion. And that's where things get tricky for the Treasury. So, why does this put Rachel Reeves in such a tough spot? Well, under current tax laws, financial companies can write off compensation payments as expenses, meaning they pay less in taxes. If that happens here, Britain could lose out on a massive £5.5 billion in corporation tax revenue. And the timing couldn't be worse. With the UK already battling weak economic growth and rising borrowing costs, Reeves is struggling to balance the books. Could this scandal force tax hikes or spending cuts? That's the big question. To make matters even more complicated, the car finance industry isn't just made up of traditional banks. It includes car manufacturers, subprime lenders, and finance firms operating under different rules. This legal grey area means that some companies might escape tax penalties, while others take the hit. Lloyds Bank, for example, operates its car finance arm through Blackhorse, a separate subsidiary. This structure could determine who pays what when the compensation bills come due. So, where does this leave the government? And more importantly, taxpayers? The Supreme Court is set to deliver its final ruling in April. If it upholds the previous Court of Appeal decision, we could see the biggest wave of mis-selling payouts in recent history. Reeves and the Treasury are bracing for impact, but they're also considering ways to close tax loopholes. Just like what happened with the PPI scandal in 2015. Back then, the government blocked banks from writing off their PPI payouts. Will Reeves follow the same playbook? Or will this loophole cost taxpayers billions? This scandal isn't just about banks and finance firms. It's about everyday people who were misled into paying thousands more for their car loans. And if the government doesn't act fast, it could be taxpayers left footing the bill.